Hi everyone, welcome to Moorside Valley. Happy New Year for everyone who's joining in. I've been asked a lot to do a layout video tour, so once we see Alton Hall across the viaduct here, I'll give you a quick layout tour. And where we'll start is all the way down this end. A better place to start than the engine shed. So we have a 4-road engine shed made up of two Bachmann Scenics engine kits. Well, I say kits and not kits, but I was lucky enough to come across two of them, so I have them. Hard stand still needs sanding off. A few various locals in there. Got a couple of locals here that needs various things done. The oil Scott here undergoing a change of livery. This has just been reprogrammed. This needs to go off to Bachmann to get some work done because it's got really poor contacts, and that's just there because it's one of my best runners. So coming off the 4 tracks here, we come down to the inspection pit, and I do have a cooling tower, but unfortunately it's not exactly level, so some work needs doing to it. Even on a bit of level ground, you can see there it's got a bit of a lean on, so that needs doing. From the inspection pit we then come down to our 3-road diesel shed. Again, the hard stand is done, it just needs sanding off and finishing. This engine shed is from eBay. I'm waiting at some point, hopefully the next month, where he can start doing custom makes again, so you can then build me a 3-road carriage shed that can hold 5 or 6 coaches on each road. So coming up from the diesel shed, we've got obviously the 3-road carriage shed here, and we come up the long loop, come up the double slip, and we have our main station. This is not the kit that's been used. I've got an Osborne's kit of Bridge North Station that's been built up and painted for me by Ollie Redding, so I'm looking forward to that arriving. I have a Bachmann Scenics footbridge from the Bluebell Railway Range, Sheffield Park, and we've just got Repton coming through here. I've not ran that in a while, so I thought we'll give it one out. These buildings on the island platform, whether I'm going to use them or not is another question. They're just there to fill the space for now. People have asked how I build the platforms. They are Pico platform edging, stones types, glued down, and then actually all the centres are filled with Woodland Scenics plaster. Once that's all set, sanded it all off, it's then covered with textured paint. If you wonder which textured paint, this stuff. Rust-Oleum textured paint, aged iron, and I think it gives a very good look to it. It's what I've used for years. I've always been happy with it, never had any complaints. So we're now going to follow Alton Hall up a piece here. We have a double slip on either side of the station. That's mainly for space saving, but I've got a little issue here, which is that now and again certain locos and rolling stock will uncouple from each other, or certain locos like the 3MT, if it's got poor contact, it'll get to there and it'll stop. And the reason is, going from that end of the layout, it's actually uphill all the way to there where it levels off. And the reason for that was, when that side was made, I had help building the 6-foot baseboards and setting them up, so I was able to be underneath drilling, securing to the wall, while my friend Peter was able to actually hold them and make sure they were level with the spirit level. However, when lockdown started, he couldn't get up here, so all these extra boards I had to build and put up myself. So I had to go down to 4-foot boards, and trying to sit underneath here, trying to secure them while keeping them level, was fairly difficult. So I didn't actually realise it was all downhill until that corner board went in, when rolling stock would start rolling down the hill and locomotives would struggle getting up. So I've got a decision to make whether I cut this piece out, try and level it off a touch there, sand it and try and get it back in. I don't know, I'll have to work something out. But look, if anyone's wondering why I don't just put the points back to back, see these two lines? Well, underneath it's a board joint, so I couldn't put points there if I wanted to. Nice little passing shot there. Then a bit that people don't normally see on the videos I've done so far. You have a nice tight curve coming on here. I believe it's at least 15 inches curve. So all my big engines can get around no problem. Then we get to this section here. Though, as you can see, I originally thought I was going to make a road and a footpath here. Peter's idea is we cut a channel out of here and we make it a canal. Quite like the idea of that actually, so I think we might go for it. You get a nice low shot down here as trains go over. There isn't one at the moment because they're all on the other side of the layout. But these two sections I go along with the viaduct. And speaking of the viaduct, a nice huge 19 arch viaduct. There is another 5 arches up there. But these I all got from Adam Moore, who got them from Alan Pearson, who was the person who designed and created these. They are 3D printed arches, all painted and everything by himself, and they were for use on a layout called Ribblehead Viaduct, which you might have seen in Railway Modeller and various magazines. I believe he's still got a Facebook page up actually. So, and I asked him how much it would cost to actually get these made, because I fancied making a layout myself. I was actually planning to make an exhibition layout, and he said it works out around £45 per arch to make. And it's 24 arches, that's a lot of money, but obviously I've only got 19 set up on here. And unfortunately, during a storm, a tree crashed through his shed where the layout was, and he decided to take it apart and sell up. So the viaduct appeared on eBay, and I was really wanting to get it, and unfortunately Adam just beat me to it. Pardon me. And then last year he started selling up, well, selling the viaduct, and it was unused. So without hesitation I bought it, went down, picked it up, and here it is. Now the viaduct was never originally part of the track plan for the layout, so there had to be a few changes. So now we get to this side of the layout, and one thing I should say is all my chalk work is Pico code 55, all the point work is medium code 55 unifogs. If you're not sure what unifog is, I'll explain in another video. And then we've got code 55 double slips. These are the only 2 points, however, that are not medium unifogs. They are curved points, which Pico as of yet have not done as unifog points. So what we've done is, my friend Ian kindly converted these two electrofogs to unifogs, which means the point blades are now permanently live as they are on unifogs. There's a wire coming off the frog into a micro switch, and everything runs a lot smoother. What I did find with this though was I had a lot of back-to-back issues with my Greenfouch Mark 1s, because if any of the back-to-backs are too tight, which is actually the case on one of my 4Fs, it shorts out right in there. And so But otherwise, for DCC, it runs absolutely perfectly. And all my Farish Mark 1s now running nice and smooth as well. This bridge, I salvaged off the exhibition layout, took all the snow off it. These two buildings also came as part of the Ribbleheads set. And then we have my rendition of Arley Station from the Severn Valley Railway. Now, anyone who hasn't seen Simon's shed, well, I don't know what you're doing, but it's a fantastic channel, great layout. And when I seen Simon make Arley Station himself, because he's doing his version of Severn Valley Railway, it sort of, I love Arley Station in general, go to the Severn Valley Railway every year, and Arley Station on in the night time is fantastic, and I always wanted to have that on my layout. Even in the old track plans, Arley was in there, but then wondering how to do it was always an issue. Watching Simon make his made it so much easier. These two buildings are from the Settle Carlisle range, so it's Arley with a twist, which so far I'm naming Alston. And so then we get to an unscenic section where it curves around here, and from get this out, we're going to have a tunnel mouth here, somewhere about there. Between there and over this side, where the other tunnel mouth will be, there's going to be a nice long tunnel, and the access to it will be from this side. Nice big embankment over the top, embankment continue down here. This bridge will probably get redone at some stage. And we'll come down here, level crossing over there, and the road will continue up behind the station. And that brings us back around to the main station. So that's only a quick overview of the entire layout. This board here is removable, but we've decided to keep it in for now. But it's removable if it's needed. But as I said, all these boards were put up all nice and level. This board at the top was originally the same height as these ones, going up there. Then when I got the viaduct, I obviously realised I had to lower the board, so I lowered it, built my next board, put in a corner section, the next one, got this one up, and everything seemed fairly level. Then I started working my way across. Everything still seemed fairly level, but obviously wasn't. And when I put that bit in, when I put coaches on where Alton Hall is now, if I put the coaches on just there, they rolled all the way down to here. The coaches up here in the carriage shed, and from this section, rolled down here. This board, I believe, actually has a slight bow in the middle, because occasionally you get something rolling. This is a tiny extension that was added on. And then obviously we have that section there. So between here and here, it's actually slightly uphill, which makes for interesting running sometimes. But yeah, still lots of work to be done. The hard stand for the cow shed I'm not going to put in until I have the diesel, like another one of these sheds. The reason is when I got this, I had to move all the, well, space the lines out slightly. So, then of course I've got a gap in the back scene for the distribution board. The back scenes are by ID printers, ID back scenes from art printers. Photographic back scenes, all customizable sizes and lengths. And as you can see, it makes a hell of a difference to how things look. Now, despite this being the most complete section, there's still a lot of work to do because it's still rather bare. There's only a few bushes, but still more trees and shrubberies and all sorts to go in there. I've got that little gap back there to fill. In terms of other scenics which I've used, this dirt-like texture, I believe it's from Tree Master or something like that. I can't exactly remember the name of it now, but there's 2 bags, fairly cheap, only about £5 a bag. It's covered quite a large area. I also need to finish this hard stand, cover more of that. Get the station building in. I've got all the details back there to do. Ignore all those paint cans there from a Titanic kit. Bunch of coaches back there. Up this end behind here, behind the diesel and carriage shed, I'm going to build this up, small embankment, and have a scenic break. So there's going to be a bit of a small tunnel there. The road is going to go behind there and get hidden. There's a temptation to actually use the fallow road system, so I'm going to have vehicles running up and down here somewhere. The back of this is going to just scenic up. As I said, we're probably going to make that a canal. Lots of scenery to add down here. More to do around at Alston / Arley. I've got this space here which I'm not quite sure what to fill it with. I don't really need an extra siding, even though I have got the space for it, but not really got the space to put in an actual extra set of points for that. Peter's idea for back here was some stuff like this, maybe not as big, but some of that across the back of there. Have an embankment up there that builds up to the tunnel mouth here. This all to build up and build up and up and up. We're going to have a road coming from up here. This is what this line is. The road's going to come down here, farmer's track across here, and over the level crossing. The level crossing will be a working level crossing using the train tech system, I believe it is. Anyone curious about lighting, underneath the American layout, they're just LED tubes which connect to each other all the way through. Each one of them has their own switch on, so I can turn that off if I wanted while the rest of them stay on. There is going to be lighting in all of the buildings and around the yards, etc. And I think that's about it for now. A couple of last things. I'm using a Digitrax controller system, DT600. The points are all by the Pico twist locks, which are controlled through a CDU and off center reset switches. So all analog. We've got working DAPL 714 signals. Again, off the one power supply. We've got a nice working buffer stop light here, which I need to get one mounted over here behind the bay. And I think that's it for now. So there's the quick layout tour. Keep tuned for a few of the further videos this year, including having a look at our locomotive fleets, which is quite expansive, rolling stock and various other things. So here's to 2021. See you later. Bye.